this next one is not really real news anymore. It's about a week or a week and a half old now, but YouTube made some changes to their partner program, and I didn't want to talk about it, but I feel like because I am a small YouTube channel, I feel like I can actually talk about this in a way that, like, I've been hearing like all the million-plus channels talk about this, and I don't know. And a lot of them have used this as an opportunity to kind of crap on YouTube, just for lack of a better term. Anyway, basically right now, YouTube is requiring to get monetization, 1,000 subscriptions to your channel, and 4,000 hours of view time in a year period. This appears to be in response to the whole Logan Paul thing that happened. I don't want to hash that, but it was kind of a crappy thing that all happened. And from also what I understand is also done in response to bots. So like a lot of like, you know, people were creating these bot channels, and they would just create channels and re-upload videos and get ad money because they could easily get monetized, and they would make little pennies, but they would make pennies across thousands of channels. And it was basically stealing money from YouTube and from creators. And so this was a way to make it much harder for bots to do that. It's not exactly clear why YouTube did this, but those are the two things that seem to be triggering it. I think as a small YouTuber, I can offer you guys some perspective. For those of you who think this is a big deal, I'm gonna have to disagree. People have been giving YouTube a lot of crap because of this, and I think that's, you know, fine. You know, it's your opinion, but I am totally okay with this.
So, I would like to say on this subject, though, because it's been kind of frustrating me. I feel like it's not that big of a change, and I feel like people expect, like, just an environment where they can just make videos, whatever they want, and whatever it's about, and they just expect YouTube to just pay them money. That's not how life works. You don't just create a product, put it in a store, and expect it to sell, and then be mad because you're not making money off of it. That's not how that works. Like, if you make a product and it goes on Walgreens shelves, right, and it doesn't sell at Walgreens, it's not Walgreens' fault. You need to revise your product. So if it's... Yeah, that's a good point. And then maybe it's not meant to be at Walgreens. Maybe it's meant to be somewhere else, you know? So same thing with YouTube. If the style of your content doesn't work with these new rules, then maybe your content is better suited for somewhere else. I just don't see an environment where we feel like it's unfair for them to set rules. It's the same concept as like TV shows, right? If they don't get the certain amount of views, the airtime, then their show gets canceled, because it's pointless to add commercials to that, because nobody's seeing those commercials to make that money. So I don't see where, you know what I'm saying? I don't see where the incentive for YouTube is to keep you around if you can't meet these minimum requirements. I don't feel like they're unfair.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people have, it's not the 1,000 subscribers, it's probably more the 4,000 hours that people have a problem with, because that seems like an insurmountable number. And I did the math. This is interesting. If you make just 5-minute videos, videos that are 5 minutes long, you just need, now this might sound like a lot, but it really isn't in the scheme of YouTube, and I think it's totally fair. You need just 48,000 full viewings across all of your videos in 1 year to qualify. So 5-minute videos, 48,000 views just to qualify in a year's time. I don't think that's unfair at all.
No.
That's not that many views to YouTube. And I even went a step further, and I just kind of did some rough calculations on how much ad money you'd be missing out on. Let's say, you know, you don't want, or let's say you're discouraged by this 4,000 hour time limit, because you're thinking, all this money, I'm gonna miss out on all this money that I would have made during that first 4,000 hours. This isn't even worth my time anymore. Just so you know, like, we're talking about, if my math is right, we're talking about somewhere between $100 and $200 that YouTube is not gonna pay you. That seems like a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Like $100, $200, if you gave me $100, $200 right now, I would be grateful. But if I worked for an entire year for you, Mikey, and then you gave me $100 or $200, that's like a penny an hour. It's nothing. And like, I know for my channel, like the first year, that's about what I made, somewhere between $100 and $200 in ad revenue. And it, like, literally in the amount of time it took, it was like a penny an hour. It was barely anything. It like didn't do anything for me. That's enough to deter you from trying to make it on YouTube. This is gonna sound like a little harsh, but I don't think you're gonna make it at all. Like, that's such a small, like, it's not small, but it is kind of small. It's not, it's achievable. It's you know, it's high enough of like a thing for you to jump over to where it's a challenge, but it's achievable.
I'd like to go back to the TV thing that I was talking about. Who would create a TV show and be concerned that they're not going to get enough views?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't create a TV show thinking that you're going to get a very low view rating, and so you're mad that they don't want to put your show on the air. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. You create content to get the views. If you're only creating content just to get the money, and you're missing the point of reaching the viewer so that way you can then make the money, I don't know where you expect to really go in life if you're just looking for the end goal instead of the process. The process is key. If you don't have a good process, that money is never going to last.
No, it's not. And some of you guys might be wondering, does the Search for Awesome qualify? We're right now at 2,400 subscribers. So I met the subscriber goal, and you might be wondering, have I met the 4,000 hour goal? And this might actually surprise you. I've actually hit that target in the past 28 days. Forget the last year. In 28 days, I've had more than 4,000 hours. And this is a small channel. I'm not trying to brag or anything. This is a small channel. This is like, if I can do it, like, you can totally do it. So don't let this discourage you. Like, if that's, like, if it seems like a lot, like I'm telling you, if you just work at it for a year and you try to focus on content you think people really want to watch, you'll hit it. Like, it'll take a while, especially when you're starting out from zero.
Well, I think it's also mentionable that as great as these videos have been from this channel, I don't feel like any of them have been like viral videos. There's nothing that's been like all over the internet and created all kinds of crazy, you know, buzz and everything.
Yeah, no.
So I don't think you have to have some crazy elaborate video that draws everybody in. You know, I think if you're just putting in good content, putting in the time, taking, you know, the time and effort to listen to what people are saying and what people want, I mean, I think you can do it easily.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll take a while, but if you're patient and you're consistent, you'll hit it. And the past few months have been my biggest months of YouTube ever, and I've only uploaded one video every month for the past 3 months, which is kind of embarrassing, which is when we're starting the podcast. Or we're starting the podcast, I should say. You might be thinking, last thing I want to mention about this, you might be thinking, you're only saying this because it doesn't affect you. That's why you're saying it's not a big deal. And the truth is, it actually does impact me personally, because I actually have 2 channels that I'm wanting to start soon. One will be like a Search for Awesome Extras channel, where I put like excerpts from this podcast on, just like, you know, segments like this one on. That one's going to probably take at least a year, if not many years, before it's going to hit those numbers. But I'm playing the long game here. Like, I'm being consistent. I'm going to try to upload consistently and see if I can make it happen there. And that's not even going to be my main channel. I'm also considering doing like a gaming related channel, whether it's like gaming or something else. I've been talking about that for a long time. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And those channels are going to take a lot longer to actually make any money now. But this does not deter me. It doesn't mean like, well, now I just got to focus on the Search for Awesome. I'm just going to put all my video ideas on the Search for Awesome and then end up losing that audience because I have all these crazy ideas that aren't really relevant to my audience. The last thing I will say about this is I think Peter McKinnon said it best.
Authenticity, generosity, creativity, community. These are the ingredients. These are the ingredients that are going to help you succeed on this platform. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch time hours. You got that. That's easy. That's the easy part.
So Peter's such a positive guy. Mike, you've heard of Peter McKinnon, right?
Briefly.
Yeah, he's a vlogger. He's also does like tutorial videos. He's a really cool guy. I definitely like him. The last thing I want to mention about this is if you do make partner status, there's going to be a lot more ad money for you to make because the pool just got smaller by cutting out a lot of the channels that aren't actually making it enough money for YouTube to give them a cut anymore. So there is some encouragement there. If you can actually leap over that hurdle, there's some good stuff on the other side. Hey there, thank you so much for watching this little clip. This is a little segment from the Search for Awesome podcast. It's a weekly show where we talk about internet and tech news. This week was a great week. We talked about Casey Neistat leading Beam. We talked about my thoughts on the YouTube partner program changing. And we talked about movie past perhaps taking over the entire movie industry. A little bit of a conspiracy piece there, but really compelling. And if you want that full experience, the entire podcast, the link is in the description, or if you're happy with just clips, this is the channel for you to be on. The main podcast is on my main channel, which is The Search for Awesome. That's that channel. This is The Search for More. And yeah, so subscribe here if you want clips. Subscribe over there if you want the full thing, and also check out some of the reviews over there. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you around.